Hello and welcome to another episode. I am Brian, the Unskilled Commander, and I'm very excited about this matchup, not necessarily so much for the decks, but because this is upgrade 2.5. Look at that. No camera wobble because it's no longer attached to the table. And I even, as a side bonus, I think I may have gotten rid of the glare issue. So that's two major upgrades, or adjustments really, that I'm very, very excited about. Shout out to my good friend Stephanie for the suggestion of the new rigging. So far it's working great. Let's just hope the audio and video holds up well because, as always, you know how it is. One step forward, two steps back. It now has an extension USB cable, so I'm just worried that even though it's the right cable, it's a 3.0 USB and it's got like the 5 mega or giga or whatever the bandwidth is for it, so it should be fine. But I'm just worried that like now that it's got that extension, the audio won't be right or the camera will be messing up. But we'll see. And see there, I'm not seeing that weird bounce effect that was happening the last episode or two as well. So I'm excited. I think this is going to be a much smoother operation in terms of visuals. The actual gameplay, well, I'm always making little mistakes, but whatever. I do feel I'm actually getting better. I'm actually, when I watch these videos, um, I'm kind of pleased. I'm not, there's small mistakes, but those are the kind of mistakes that wouldn't happen in a real game because the other players would say, hey, wait a second, that doesn't work like that. And if they're, oh yeah, you're right, sorry, that's not a creature, or that's not a whatever. Um, I just don't have that back and forth right now. And I do plan on having some more multiplayer games in the future. We've had two-headed guest with my good friend Dell, who is listed on the page. If you go to the main page of the Unskilled Commander, you go down to the bottom, you can see all the other groups and Magic content creators that I think you should go check out. It's not necessarily all of them by any stretch, and it's not the biggest ones necessarily, but Dell's on there, so go check out his stuff. But I do think I'm going to have some other friends over as well to maybe play an honest to goodness 4-player game every once in a while. Like maybe once a quarter, maybe a little bit more than that. I don't know. We'll see how, people's availabilities are important. But anyway, I'm rambling and I apologize. I'm just excited that this is working. I'm super excited that this is working and it's no longer, I basically, unless I jump up or something, I can't bump the camera, the table doesn't matter, that's all that kind of stuff. But I rolled the dice, and well, I guess I should announce who's playing, shouldn't I? We've got Optimus Prime, Transformers, Landfall, Atraxa Infect, and Squirrels. Atraxa is going first, which is not necessarily a good thing that you want to see with a Infect deck, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to play Adhikar Waste. It taps 4 colors, but you can tap it for blue or white, but if you do, it deals 1 damage to you when that happens. All right, we're going to pass. I'm going to play a Necro Blossom Snarl. You can reveal a swamp or a forest, but I don't, so it'll come in tapped, it's fine. I'm going to play Great Furnace. Artifact land, it taps for red. And these, I just really shuffled these up and grabbed the first 7 cards that absolutely had 3 playable lands, just like I used to do like a year or 2 ago. So I've learned since then that you want to try and mulligan to get 3 playable lands and a one or something you can play in the first like 2 to 3 turns. You're not going for optimization. You're not trying to get you're not mulliganing 20 times to get your best hand because that's not fair and that's just BS. But just mulliganing enough that you can have some plays and have lands. This is not that, so we're gonna see how bad this is. So pass turn over to here. Select a forest for turn, and I will pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Okay, we're going to go with an Orzhov Guildgate. That does come in tapped, unfortunately. And we'll pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Terramorphic Expanse, cracking it to get probably a forest. Still no 1-drops. So we will pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Azorius Guildgate comes in tapped. We're just flying along, aren't we? We're going to pass. Untap, upkeep, draw over here. Play an island for turn. That's it, pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to play Marsh Flats, tap it, and pay a life to go get either a Plains or Swamp card. I'm going to get a Zagoth Triumph, which also comes in taps. But it taps for green, black, or blue. I'm going to tap blue and one other to play Blighted Agent. A 1/1 with Infect, but Blighted Agent is unblockable. Pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. We'll play Slitherborn Pathway, taps for green. I will tap all three to play Bonder's Ornament. Pass turn. I guess I should have played the commander because now that there's well, that's the thing, it's an unblockable Infect, so it doesn't even matter if I had a creature, so I think that was a better play. Untap, upkeep, draw, Temple of Enlightenment. Enters the battlefield tapped, but when it enters, you do scry. I guess under the circumstances, I'll leave that there, and wait. I do have a 2-drop, tapping 2 for Dolem Gate. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to attacking creatures you control. That's a pretty cool card. I like that one. We're going to pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Forest for turn, tapping all 3 to play Scoot Swarm. Another favorite of mine. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. But if you control 6 or more lands, create a copy of Scoot Swarm. So those bad boys can get out of control real fast. That's almost always something that gets blown up as soon as it comes onto the battlefield, justifiably so. But we'll see if anyone can actually do that. Pass turn. Okay, untap, upkeep, draw. I'm actually going to play Sky Cloud Expanse. It says pay 1 and tap it to add white or blue. I'm going to pair that with Adhikar Waste, so now I don't have to ever tap it to ding me, and it just gives me white and blue. So that's white, blue, black, and I can do green. We're going to go ahead and play Atraxa, Praetor's Voice. A flying, vigilance, death touch, lifelink 4/4. Insane for that. And then at the beginning of your end step, you proliferate. We're going to go ahead and move to combat. And I think I am going to ding you for 1 infect. So you've got 1 infect damage. Right, so the thing with infect is it doesn't actually deal damage, it just deals damage in the form of poison counters to players and -1/-1 counters to actual creatures. So he doesn't take a damage, but he gets the poison counter, which is arguably way more important because 10 poison counters, you lose the game. We're going to move to our end step. We proliferate. Hey, you now have 2. Pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Going to tap 2 to play Environmental Sciences. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. As you can see, I'm getting a swamp. Goes to my hand, and also I gain 2 life. And I'm just going to play the swamp immediately because I haven't played a land for turn yet. I will then tap all 3 to play Icon of Ancestry. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. I'm going to choose Squirrels. Creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1. And you can pay 3 and tap it to look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card that shares a type and put it in your hand, rest on the bottom of it in the order. I will pass. Unfortunately, I know I need to get Optimus Prime a much better land base in order to make him viable. I'll play Prairie Streams. It comes in tapped unless you control 2 or more basics. I don't, unfortunately. But I will tap for 2 white and 1 other to play Tempered Steel. It's an enchantment. Artifact creatures you control get +2/+2. Great card in this deck. It would be even better if there was artifact features on the field, but hey, that along with Dolem Gate is prep work, right? And assuming we don't all die to poison infect soon. Pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Going to play Jungle Basin, bouncing an untapped forest to my hand, making a 1/1 insect. Still have 2 lands. Just to at least play some stuff, we're going to tap 1 for Quarian Ranger. So 1/1, return a forest you control to its owner's hands and untap target creature. Activate only once each turn. I could attack with Scoot Swarm. I'm not sure that it really matters, but you know what? We will go ahead and attack you for 1, just to do some damage, and pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Alright, well, we're totally doing this. We're tapping for a white and one other to play Prologue to Pharesis. Each opponent gets a poison counter and draw a card. So you get a poison counter. Do the whole thing there. You get a poison counter, and you get a poison counter, and you get a poison counter. Aren't I generous? And we draw a card. Still not a land, though. However, I believe I will do this. I'm going to tap for a white and one other to play Unbound Potential. Choose one. Put a +1/+1 counter on each up to 2 target creatures, or proliferate. Obviously, we're just going to go ahead and proliferate. So boom. Boom, and also boom. Then we're going to go to combat. I'm going to swing Blighted Agent at you, Optimus. And you're going to get another poison counter. Now we're going to go. Now we could, of course, swing with Atraxa, but I don't really feel the need. We're going to go ahead and move to our end step. Proliferate. This one's shaping up real nice. She's going to pass. All right, guys, we need to do something about Atraxa. Did not draw a land. 1, 2, 3, 4 to play Parallel Lives. If in effect we create one or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many. I know basically, I don't think. Well, we can't play. We always do that. I always do that. I would say we. Because we're a team, guys. You, the viewer, and me, the player. But seriously, every time I think a deck is going to win, something happens and it stops it. So I'm not going to assume that Atraxa is going to win. And so I think we should just keep setting this up to go crazy with squirrel tokens. And that's all we can do. So we'll pass. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Play Artificial Den, another artifact land. This one taps for white. Okay, only got 5 mana. So we're going to tap that white mana for Swords to Plowshares. What did I just say? We're going to Swords Atraxa. You're going to gain life equal to its power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. But now Atraxa costs 2 more to pass. And as you can see, we do not have that 2 extra. And it will be at least 2 turns if we're getting lands to play it. So I think everyone's semi-safe for a while. Way to go, Optimus. And with my last 4 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, to play Ribskiff. It's a 4/4 vehicle with a crew cost of 3, but it has Toxic too. Haha. When Ribskiff enters the battlefield, draw a card. Sweet, I will do so. All right. That's all we can do there, and we will pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Yep, totally going to play a forest, which makes another insect. Careful I don't mark something up with the marker. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to play. Oh, nope, that is not a 5. That is a 6 drop. Gosh darn it. So next turn, maybe. So, okay, rewind 1 second. 1, 2, 3 to play Grazing Gladeheart. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, gain 2 life. Now I play the forest, I get the extra insect, and I gain 2 life. Now we're going to go ahead and tap a green and one other to play Broken Bond. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. You may put a land from your hand on the battlefield, totally blowing up your parallel lives. None of that crap. And then I will go ahead and put Bark Channel Pathway out. I gain 2 life, and I'm going to make a 3rd insect. Now, definitely that's all I can do, and we will go to combat and swing these 2 little guys at you for a measly 2 damage. Technically, one of these insects could go over there too, but we're not going to bother with that. Well, I guess we would. I just don't want to make an extra token. But that's laziness, isn't it? Because, my goodness, how hard is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we do not have Scoop Swarm online yet, but that's fine. So here we go. 3 damage to you, and we pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Hey, it's a lamp. Okay, I'm going to tap 1, 2, and 3 to play Listening Sphere. It doesn't enter the battlefield tap, but when it enters, you proliferate. So boom, you are at 6, 4, and 5. You can add 1 mana of any color, or you can add 3 mana of any one color. Activate only if the opponent has 3 or more poison counters. Oh, I'll be doing that next turn. Then I'm going to play Flooded Grove. I can tap it for a colorless, or I can pay a color into it and make 2 green, 2 blue, or a green and a blue, depending on the necessary colors. Oh, yeah, we're totally going to do this. Oh, man. You smack me, I smack you, boyo. We're going to tap for black. Whisper of the Dross. Target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn. Say goodbye to your Scoot Swarm. And guess what? Proliferate. Yachaz. Even without Atraxa out, I could still do the proliferating. Alright, so we should have more than enough mana to do it next turn. And we still can go to combat. So I'm going to go ahead and swing at you to get you up to more like everybody else. So bang, 6 poison counters over there. Then we're going to go ahead and pass. It does not look good for people over here. Untap, upkeep, draw. I mean, at this point, like, I don't even know if it's really, I guess, 1, 2, 3 to play the commander. Chatterfang, Squirrel General. A 3/3 with Forest Walk. They don't have a forest yet, unfortunately. But they do. If 1 or more tokens will be created under your control, those tokens plus that many 1/1 green squirrel tokens are created. And you can pay a black, sacrifice a bunch of squirrels, and target creature gets +X -X until end of turn for the numbers, squirrels you sacrificed. Fortunately, 2 mana is not enough to play anything else. We're going to pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. We can play Karn's Bastion. And just because I want to do some stuff, we're going to go blue, white, red, and then 1, 2, 3. We are playing Optimus Prime, a hero. It's a 4/8. I could have played him for 5 mana for his more than meets the eye cost, which is the other side, truck mode. I mean, the way things were going, it really wasn't like a concern. I do tend to just want to play it on robot mode more anyway. But at the beginning of each end step, bolster 1, which is choose a creature with the lowest toughness among the ones you have and give it a +1/+1 counter. If he dies, return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Doesn't say transformed, converted, whatever. You flip him. So in order to get rid of him, you actually have to exile him. Or kill it when it's in truck mode. But alright. I can crew my Ribskiff. Hey, hey. Ho, ho, as it were. So we're going to go ahead and tap Optimus to crew the Ribskiff. Now that it's a creature and it's an artifact, it's getting +2/+2. So it is a 6/6 with Toxic 2. I will swing it at you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you get 2 toxic, 2 poison counters yourself. Go ahead and proliferate yourself, punk. But that's all we can do over here. We're going to move to our end step. And then the fun begins. And this is the part I got to really work on remembering. Ribskiff. Wait a second. Okay, so it stops being a creature at the end of turn. So I believe at the beginning of the end step, it is still a creature. I'm going to put a +1/+1 counter on him. Sweet. For bolstering. Then I'm going to pass. All right. At least we got those 3 insects before Scoot Swarm was gone. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have 6. So we will tap all 6 to play our commander, Aisi, Tyrant of the Gyre Straits. It's a 5/5. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. When you play a land, draw a card. I haven't played any lands yet this turn, so I'm going to play an island. Trigger, I gain 2 life, and I draw a card. I'm then going to play a second land for turn, Blighted Woodland. Gain another 2 life, and draw a card. Okay. Fortunately, I do have a 1-drop, but it is a green 1-drop and not a blue. Do I have any 2s? No, I do not have any 2s. But we're definitely going to combat. For all the little, pokes it's worth, we're going to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all we can do. Pass turn. So it's untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Yeah, I think we're going to do it this way. I'm going to tap. Let's see. This thing taps for 3 mana of any one color, but can only activate that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, if only I had drawn a freaking land, that would have been able to do everything. But that's all right. Well, not everything, but enough. Oh no, I wouldn't. Not with the. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if I had an extra land, that would be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. To play Hand of the Praetors. It's a 3/2 Infect creature. Other creatures you control with Infect get +1/+1. And whenever you cast a creature spell with Infect, target player gets a poison counter. Now, I'm going to move to combat, swing Blighted Agent at you. It's now at 2. You're up to 9, and I think we all know what's happening because you already saw it. Then I'm going to tap this for 3 black mana, then play Grim Affliction, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, and then proliferate. I will put the -1/-1 on this. Well, it's not a creature anymore, so I can't target it for that. There's no point in taking care of any of his because he's about to die. I don't know. I guess Optimus. I don't really have a way of doing minus counters, so we'll just put that on there for right now and try to remember. But the important part is proliferate. Boom. 10 poison counters. You are done, my friend. And you were at 7, and you were at 7. All right, moving right along. I like it. Pass turn. Why couldn't my Infect deck have done that when I played against some friends like a week ago? Or less than a week ago? I tried it and it didn't even do anything. It was, well, it is not on 10 Infect there. What did I give 2, right? That's why. But yeah, I played it against some friends and it kind of just dudded. It didn't really get anything going. So we untap over here, we upkeep, still no lands. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play Greykeeper. It's a 2/2 Stealth Druid. When Greykeeper enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 green squirrel tokens. So make 2 squirrels, but Shatterfang says that whenever you make any tokens, you make them, and then you also make that number of squirrel tokens. So I'm going to end up making 4. He does have Forest Walk. Nobody has forests. I could swing in there because that's a 3/2, that's a 3/3. So if I swung, Hand of the Praetor would destroy it. But it is giving it the buff, so maybe we should try and force that. But again, if you were playing it, you totally just take the damage. I really don't think swinging in an Optimus makes any sense whatsoever. I will swing Shatterfang at you. He's a 4/4 actually with the buff. But yeah, I'll just take it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, why bother? Why lose anything over there? If we do anything, we play Atraxa again and then get any kind of good proliferate spells, they should be dead on that turn. Maybe another one past that. So that's all we can do though. Everyone else has semi-sickness. We will go ahead and pass. See, I already forgot it. But, okay, so this end step I did that. That end step, I would have proliferated himself. Because it doesn't, it doesn't say other, does it? Choose a creature with the least toughness among creatures you control. It's the only creature available. So I would put the +1/+1 counter on it. Then he hits it for 1, so we kind of just, it doesn't quite work that way, but does work that way, so whatever. He now has nothing. And then at his end step, he bolsters, and then that end step, he bolsters again. Now it's my turn. I untap, upkeep, draw for turn, play Spire of Industry, taps for a colorless, or you can tap it and pay 1 life to get a mana of any color. I think we will tap 1, 2, 3, 4 for Unwinding Clock. Untap all artifacts you control during each other player's untap step. Hang on, let's use the mana properly. Then I'll tap. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is tap Optimus to crew rib skip. So it is now a creature. This is still in my first main phase. You can do that at the end of your main phase going into combat or whatever, but I'm doing it early because just because I want to do it this way. I will then tap 1, 2, 3 with white and red to play Arcbound Shikari. It is a first strike 0/0, but when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each other artifact creature you control, so it gets 2/2. Another reason why I wanted to do that before I played it. And then modular 2, this creature enters the battlefield. Or no, sorry, when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each other artifact creature you control. Sorry. And modular 2, it comes in with 2 1/1 counters, and when it dies, you may put its 1/1 counters on something else. Sorry. But that's what I meant. That's why I wanted this to be a creature before I brought that in, so they both get him. Now we're going to go to combat. It's a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm absolutely swinging it at you. It's an 8. You can take it, but I mean, you want to take that gamble. I think from that perspective, one more time we'll take it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a risky one because yes, we can play Atraxa again, so that's at least one proliferate. Gets them to 8, but I don't think I have anything in the hand. And maybe I do, maybe I don't, I don't know. So then that resolves. We do that. We move to our end step, and this is a creature, it's 2/2, so this is the lowest toughness, so we'll bolster that one. We then pass turn. They're going to untap, but we're also going to untap all artifacts you control, which is one of the reasons why I have some artifact lands in this deck. Let me just make sure that's the only ones. Yep. So now I have 2 open mana. Nothing I can do with it, even in instant speed, but that's fine. More importantly, I also untapped my creatures, or my vehicle anyway, and Optimus. But anyway, this is still on, that's on this untap step. So let's see if Atraxa can pull this one out. Gonna untap, upkeep, draw. Now I think we probably can, because whenever you cast a creature spell with Infect, target player gets a poison counter. Well, maybe not. So we're going to tap for white and blue, green, and black. Oh gosh, we might not even have. We're going to tap this for 3 black mana. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 out of the 3 with so 1 floating black mana. Whoa, just barely enough to recast Atraxa. She is not Infect, so that's not going to trigger anything. And then I'm going to use that 1 floating black mana and 1 other to play Plague Stinger, a flying 1/1 with Infect. Target player gets a poison counter. So it doesn't proliferate, it just gives somebody a poison counter. But let's think about the math. We're going to, when we go to end step, it's going to proliferate, so that'll put them both at 8. So we don't want to send things at the same people. So Optimus has been doing the biggest damage. Optimus, although they have a lot, but Optimus is going to take the extra proliferate damage, right? Then, no, sorry, other way around. Squirrels is going to take that 1 proliferate damage. We will then move to combat. We will swing Blighted Agent, which is getting the +1/+1, to you, putting you at 9 poison counters. We then move to our end step. Atraxa is going to proliferate. Boom, 10. Sorry, Optimus. You're done. And then you are at 9 poison counters. We're going to pass. We untap over here. I don't think there's anything Squirrels can do. Well, I mean, that's not a bad thing. But it's still not a land. We need a land to do more than one thing. What really sucks is we have an Ingaruk's Wake, which destroys all creatures and planeswalkers you don't control. So that would have been a fantastic board wipe if we'd have kept getting lands. We probably could have pulled that off right about now and saved ourselves and even Optimus, maybe. Otherwise, all we can do is I can murder Atraxa. But I mean, it doesn't matter, because as soon as it's their turn, Blighted Agents kills me. So there's not much in terms of that we should do. So as I said, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all we can do. So it's not much. We will tap, actually don't even bother tapping that. Tap 3 lands to play the enchantment Haunted one. Commander creatures you own have whenever this creature becomes tapped. If other creatures you control that share a creature type with it each get +2/+0 and gain Undying until end of turn. So we're going to move to combat. We are going to swing the board at you, boyo. So that's not nothing, because I guess I should have thought of that. So I guess I probably should have killed squirrels like I was originally, because the squirrels are getting the buff here. So these are 2/2s. They are now 4/2s. He's a 4/4. Or sorry, that's a 4/4. And that is a 2/2. 4/2. Right. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, it and other creatures. Holy heck. So yeah, that's a lot. Um, I don't know. Wow, wow. How stupid would that be if Squirrels just pulled that win out of for no reason? Just because I didn't like do the math. I mean, I think they probably do. Because yeah, there's only three things that he can block with. So that would be, oh, just barely. Just barely. Okay, let's do the math, right? None of these things have trample. It does have forest walk, the commander, but none of these. Oh, Zagoth Triome is a forest. So that counts. So he can get the commander through. I think that's probably going to do it. Because that's 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 commander damage. That's absolutely going to go through. So let's do that first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, it's got forest walk. You have a forest. Now everything else is the same. They're all 4 toughness. So it doesn't matter what we block where. So we can block 3 creatures with Atraxa, Hand, and Plague Stinger. Plague Stinger will die. Hand of the Praetor will die. But one of the Squirrel tokens will die off of Hand of the Praetor. And then Atraxa will unfortunately die and cost 4 more to cast. But she will also kill Drakekeeper. So, oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gets through. Because that one got stopped and killed. So this isn't dead, but it didn't get through. Yep. Right? I mean, let's take a breath. He's a 3, getting buffed by 1. It's a 4. When it becomes tapped, it gets another +2/+0. So it is a 6/4, unblockable because of Forest Walk. Everything else is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. So there are 4 2s. This was a 4/2, and that's it. Yep, sorry, just there. So these 3 got blocked, and these 2 died accordingly. The 2 remaining 4 2s get through for 8 damage. So close. Way to go, Squirrels. That was actually really a valiant effort. We pass over to Atraxa, untap, upkeep, draw. I'm not even going to try and be like a jerk and play other things. I'm just going to move to combat. Hit you for, oh, wait, whoop, 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 ho, ho, ho. No, you're at 9. Okay. I was going to say, there's no longer the buff, but you are at 9. 1 poison counter. Kaboosh. You are done. All right. So there you have it, guys. Atraxa pulls out a pretty decent win. Could have been a little smoother, but I like it. I'm glad it did it. Squirrels actually really surprised me. Almost pulled out a surprise win at the end there. Landfall, I love Landfall. It just didn't get enough ramp quick enough. It needed to get the commander out by like turn 4 or 5 with mana rocks and some mana ramp spells. So that's just no biggie. Optimus is always too slow. Even if I wanted to play his 5 cost side, it's still too slow. A lot of it is the mana base. I need to fix because there's too many I don't know about too many lands coming in tapped. He needs to speed that up. But otherwise, I mean, you can see he started to get some synergies going there, with the bolsters and the static buffs and everything. Then Unwinding Clock, letting them untap everything. It's got potential. I really like that too. All right, cool. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the visual upgrade. A lot less glare, no more wobble. Hopefully, it didn't do any kind of weird, you know, blah blah with the camera. So that's awesome. Hopefully, the sound and the audio come through just like normal, nice and strong, and no weird fluctuations or noises. But that'll have to wait until I edit it. So I will see you guys next time.